She learned English in 30 days. Here's how Maya was 22 years old, shy and afraid to speak. She had studied English for years, but every time she tried to talk, her voice disappeared. Her dream was to work in a travel company, but every job interview asked the same question: "Can you speak English?" And her answer was always silence. One morning after another rejection, she looked in the mirror and whispered, "I will speak English in 30 days. No excuses." She didn't know how yet, but she felt a fire inside her chest. She wrote a note and stuck it on the wall. 30 days, 10 minutes a day. Speak, don't fear. That was day 1. On the first day, Maya did something different. Instead of opening a grammar book, she opened YouTube and searched simple English stories. She listened and repeated every sentence aloud, slowly, like singing. Her rule was clear: don't just listen, speak with the video. The first time felt awkward. Her accent sounded strange, but she smiled and said, "I don't care how I sound. I just care that I try." By day 3, she was already talking to herself while cooking. "I'm cutting the tomatoes. I'm boiling the water. I'm washing the dishes." Every action became English practice. Her house became her classroom. On day 5, Maya joined an online English group. They met for 15 minutes every evening. At first, she only listened, but the teacher smiled and said, "Maya, your turn. Say one thing about your day." Her heart raced, but she spoke. Her sentence wasn't perfect, but everyone clapped. She felt something new: confidence. That night, she wrote in her notebook, "Confidence grows when you speak, not when you wait." By day 10, something magical happened. Her thoughts started to appear in English. When she saw her cat, she said in her mind, "She's sleeping." When it rained, she whispered, "It's raining again." English was no longer a subject. It was a voice inside her. Speak daily. Small steps. Big change. Maya faces doubt, embarrassment, and temptation to quit, but finds creative speaking methods, like shadowing movies, talking to AI, and voice recording herself. Her fluency slowly grows. She meets a foreign traveler who only speaks English. They talk for an hour. She realizes she's fluent, not perfect, but free. You don't learn to speak English by waiting for confidence. You gain confidence by speaking. One voice, one story, one day at a time. By the second week, Maya's room looked different. Sticky notes covered her mirror, her laptop, even her fridge. Everywhere she looked, she saw English: door, mirror, spoon, smile, dream. She read them aloud every morning while brushing her teeth. Her confidence was growing, but so was the pressure. Her friends laughed when she refused to speak her native language during practice. "Come on, Maya," they said. "Stop pretending to be British." She smiled and said nothing, but their laughter stayed in her heart. That night, she looked at her reflection and whispered, "They don't see my dream, but I do." On day 12, Maya tried something new: shadowing. She opened her favorite movie, pressed play, and repeated every line after the actors, copying their tone, speed, and emotion. At first, her tongue twisted. She sounded silly, but she kept going, one line at a time. She learned to feel English, not just understand it. When the actors said, "Don't give up on me," she shouted it too, with tears in her eyes. That was the day she discovered the secret of fluency. You don't speak fast because you know many words. You speak fast because you're not afraid to sound alive. By day 15, Maya faced her hardest test. Her English group had a speaking challenge. Everyone had to talk for 1 full minute. No pause, no translation. Her heart raced as she waited for her turn. When her name was called, her hands shook. But she took a deep breath and began. When I was a child, I was afraid of my voice. But now, every mistake I make is a step forward. She spoke slowly, honestly, emotionally. When she finished, the group clapped again. The teacher said, "Maya, your English is not perfect, but your message is powerful." And that was the day she stopped chasing perfection. She started chasing connection. Days passed. She created a new rule for herself: no silent days. Even when she was alone, she practiced speaking aloud. She described what she saw. "I'm walking to the shop. The sky looks beautiful. I feel proud today." Her own voice became her teacher. When she forgot a word, she didn't stop. She found another way to say it. That's when she realized fluency isn't about knowing every word. It's about never stopping the conversation. By day 20, Maya recorded herself speaking every night. At first, she hated her voice. She thought, "I sound strange. My accent is wrong." But one evening, she played her first and latest recordings, side by side, and she couldn't believe it. The girl who once whispered now spoke with confidence. Her voice was clearer, her rhythm smoother, her words stronger. Tears filled her eyes as she smiled and said, "I didn't change in one night. I changed every night." Your mistakes are not your weakness. They are your practice. Day 25. The air outside was soft, golden and full of sound. People laughing, cars passing, music from open windows. Maya sat in the cafe where she always studied, her notebook beside her, her earphones in. But today felt different. A tourist couple entered the cafe, confused, holding a map. They looked around, searching for help. Maya's heart started to beat fast. She heard her inner voice whisper, "This is your moment. Speak." Her hands trembled. For a second, she wanted to hide like before. But then she remembered all those nights talking to her mirror. All the words, the laughter, the tears. She stood up and smiled. "Hi, do you need help?" she asked. Their faces lit up. "Oh yes. We're trying to find the museum." And for the first time, Maya spoke easily, naturally, confidently. The words flowed like music. No fear, no translation, just connection. When they thanked her and left, Maya sat back down and covered her face. Her heart was racing, not from fear, but from joy. She whispered to herself, "I did it. I really did it." That night, Maya walked home under the streetlights, thinking about the journey. 30 days. 30 days of small steps, embarrassing moments, and private victories. She realized that English was no longer just a language. It was her bridge to the world. It had given her a new version of herself, brave, expressive, unstoppable. She smiled and said softly, "Fluency doesn't come from books. It comes from courage." The next morning, Maya recorded her final video for her 30-day challenge. She looked into the camera and said, "If you want to speak English fast, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Speak now, even if it's wrong, even if your voice shakes. The more you speak, the more you grow. Confidence comes before perfection." She paused, smiling, her eyes full of emotion. Don't learn English just to pass a test. Learn it to tell your story. And as her camera light blinked off, Maya didn't just feel fluent in English, she felt fluent in life. You don't need perfect grammar to speak English fast. You just need courage, consistency, and belief in your voice. If you found this story helpful or inspiring, don't forget to subscribe for more motivational English stories.